On Wednesday, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced the cancellation of two DHS grants totaling over $2.7 million to Harvard University on top of the punitive freezing of federal grants of more than $2 billion. Media reports suggest that the U.S. Internal Revenue Service, or the IRS, is making plans to rescind the tax-exempt status of Harvard University, and a final decision is expected soon. This comes a day after the US President Donald Trump threatened to strip the university of its tax-exempt status and said Harvard should apologize. Because among all universities, Harvard is the only one so far to reject what it called unlawful demands to overhaul academic programs or lose federal grants. Its students' community is proud of the university's stance against adversity.
All students here are incredibly proud right now that Harvard is standing up for academic integrity, that it's standing up for free speech, and we just hope that Harvard is gonna continue to stand up against any pressure from the Trump administration.
The president of Harvard's decision to, not obey by the Trump's administration attacks on university is pretty courageous, and I fully support it. I think it's important as a community here to gather and face this all together. And I think this is an attack on academic freedom, and I think it's a threat to democracy.
Beginning with Columbia University, the Trump administration has rebuked universities across the country over their handling of the pro-Palestinian student protest movement that roiled campuses last year in the aftermath of Israeli attacks on Gaza after 2023 Hamas-led attack. Several universities lost federal grants of billions in the past few months since Trump came back to power, though none other than Harvard University stood up to the administration.
I definitely hope that Harvard is going to use some of its endowment to, support continued financial aid for students, some of the critical research in, cancer research, medical research, and innovation that is happening at this place. But it is definitely going to be felt all over campus, and we'll have to see, exactly what is going to be cut, and if professors are going to have to be fired, or they're going to be able to admit less students. We simply don't know at this point, but I feel a lot of confidence in Harvard to make good decisions on this.
It has become that our rights in America have come under attack. I just keep thinking about how the demands that have been made of all of these universities in the Northeast and across the country really are specifically targeting the right to speech, assembly, press, and due process. And I think it worries me that, not that people aren't paying attention, but that we're so overwhelmed and inundated with all of these things that keep happening.
On 14th April, Harvard President Alan Garber in a letter said that the Trump administration's demands, including an audit to ensure the viewpoint diversity of its students and faculty and an end to diversity, equity and inclusion programs, were unprecedented assertions of power unmoved from the law that violated constitutional free speech and the Civil Rights Act. And within hours, the Joint Task Force to Combat Anti-Semitism said it was freezing more than $2 billion in contracts and grants to Harvard.